Good evening and welcome to Season 2, Episode 8 of the Powerpuff Babes podcast, where sugar meets spice and everything nice. We're your hosts, Allie, Mo, and Kat. So, Kat had something that she wanted to talk about before we got started, just a quick little thing, and then we were going to continue with some more Am I the Asshole stories for you guys. So, go ahead, Kat. Go. Are you muted to the.
Hello? Can I be heard now? Not me
Can we
having
hear?
not me having technical difficulties.
We're
Oh,
just
yeah, it's picking
I
up.
waiting
hear
to
There we
you.
go.
ourselves.
Yeah.
It's picking up my mic. Oh, okay. Let me start it all over. Hold on. As I was saying, as I was saying, yesterday, Friday the 11th was Veterans Day. So we did want to say happy Veterans Day to everybody who celebrated that. We do want to give our thanks for everybody who served in the military and who service or who has served beforehand. I did want to speak about something that happened today. So I usually go to work with my mom, and I help her do some cleaning and whatnot. So we essentially have to go through different buildings all in one day, and one of our routes to get to one of the buildings was actually closed off. The interstate was completely closed off on both sides. And I was just confused because I got a notification on my phone. It, came with a whole alert sound and everything. And so then I was just a bit confused. So I looked into it. Um, and apparently, or unfortunately, I guess I could say here, is here in Dallas, I don't know why they would do this. I get it. It's a prehistoric thing. It's a considered tradition at this point. Here in Dallas, every year, we have what's called winged air shows. So it's basically just showing off military aircrafts. So what they do is they literally fly into in these with these aircrafts that was used in World War II. I think last year was showing some from World War One, but this year they decided to do World War II aircrafts, and two of those aircrafts collided today. Um,
Oh.
Yeah. So I looked into this because I was a bit I didn't know about this. I don't usually go to these aircraft shows. Um Mainly because I get so anxious seeing these airplanes or fly so close to each other. And this is the reason why I get so scared, is because of something like this happening. And so the event organizer, the people who usually organize this, um, they do this every year. So I have only heard of this incident happen like once or twice before. So it wasn't like a really common thing. But mind you, these guys are using aircrafts from back in the day, so they're pretty prehistoric. They're so old that, in my opinion, they shouldn't be using these equipments. Any
I'm
equipment,
sorry.
in my opinion, any equipment that has been used in World War II, World War One, back in the day era, don't use them, because you never know when this stuff will fail on you. Um, did you have something to say, Ellie?
I'm just confused because isn't that shit like 60 years ago? Why
Yes.
are they flying shit that's 60 years old?
It is considered tradition
If
to
not
show
more.
off because this event is done every year around the time of Veterans Day. Um,
Well, I get it being tradition. I just feel like they could maybe make a new one modeled after that and be
yes.
like, this is what it looked like. And then it's,
Yes.
not 60 years old.
Yeah, just that's what I thought they were going to do this year, but apparently they wanted to stick with tradition. Um, so I didn't know any of this by the when I was going through this route with my mom. We had left for work at around 2:30 p.m. and this happened at 1:20 p.m. Um, so I'm going to go ahead and read this message that the event the CEO and president of what's called the um com- commemorative Air Force Wings over Dallas. He left this message. He actually stated this message in a conference earlier too. And it goes, this afternoon, two aircrafts were involved in a mid-air collision at Dallas Executive Airport. The aircrafts that were being used were a Boeing B-17 Flying Fortress and a Bell P-63 King Cobra. I will give a description for both of those because they are different. But both of those aircrafts were both out of the Houston area. Currently, we do not have any information of the status of the flight crews as emergency responders are working the incident. The commemorative Air Force is working with local authorities. The FAA and the NTSB will conduct a thorough investigation into the cause of the accident. Any available information will be posted on their website, which is www.wingsoverdallas.org. Our thoughts and prayers are with those involved in the accident and their families. So, the reason why I want to give a description of this is because if you look this up, you can also find videos of the actual accident. In my opinion, they really shouldn't have posted those, but they're already on the internet, so anything that goes on the internet cannot be taken off the internet, essentially. So,
Nope.
um, the Boeing B-17 Flying Fortress is a massive aircraft. Um,
Mhm.
the reason why I want to give a description of that is because if you look at the video, you will see the amount of or the difference in size between these two aircrafts. The Bell P-63 is a very small, tiny airplane against a Boeing 17. Um, as a matter of fact, the video shows when the impact happened, and you can see that the Boeing splits in half.
Yikes.
It
Yeah,
splits in half. So when it hit coming downward onto the Boeing. Um but you can see that once it collides with it, flies through the Boeing and crashes down. But it's just I was looking into how many people were in that accident because honestly, I was definitely saddened at the fact that this happened. Um and so I just wanted to see how many people were in the incident. I was just like, man, I hope those guys are okay. Um so what I've heard from the conference video was that the P-63 only has one passenger. And the Boeing will have between 4 to 6 crew members on that aircraft. So it is possible because the way I see it, nobody could have survived that accident. Um, the way I see it is that at least 6 people have passed away due to this accident. If you
Yikes.
see the video, you will understand why I say that nobody could have survived.
I've seen the video. It's like everywhere on Twitter because it's I'm at the same like I guess parking lot. Everybody was watching the show. Nobody was recording because like they saw what happened and they wanted to record it. but it was because they're watching an air show. They were like fascinated and they just so happened to catch it. But posting it, like it seems like very wrong move, especially with the families like who were there to watch it and get to have to relive it when they go on the internet for Lord knows how long now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Stuff like that is very insensitive, and I feel like society's been very desensitized to things like that. Like, the same thing happened with Kobe, like, when that accident happened, like, we found out before the family did because of someone
Yeah.
on TNT, and, like, they
see,
just don't think about how that shit affects the family.
yeah. And see, the thing is, it's very sad because it is stated that the families were at the show when it
Ye
happened. So, the event organizer and the president immediately, seeked out counseling for these family members, and um they were just trying, thankfully, like, DPD, Dallas PD, and Dallas Firehouse, and there was a bunch of ambulance there. um they all responded. Are you watching the video? Is
Are
that
you
why
Oh
me?
my god! I'm sorry. Yeah. What
you're watching
happened?
the video? Yeah.
What the fuck happened?
I honestly,
Oh,
in my
yeah.
opinion, this is why I say that they really shouldn't be using old equipment that way. I'm thinking that the P63, the small one, I'm thinking that that one somehow
Yeah,
malfunctioned.
lost control or
And
something.
he lost control. He couldn't get a
Yeah,
hold of it. So that's
because he
that's
goes
how I think of it.
straight into it. He goes straight into it.
Hmm.
Because if I'm not mistaken, there's three of those aircrafts, the tiny ones, those three of them. So what they do is, in the air show, I think they stay one on top of the other to make it look like it's just one airplane from the bottom, and then once they get to a certain distance, they separate, so it looks really cool. Like, it looks like a blooming, like a fountain almost. So they do that, like, little effect where they separate into, like, one keeps going straight and the other two separate to the sides, and I think that one was the one that was going towards the right. um
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to turn. It looks like the plane is trying to miss, and then it just doesn't.
yeah, air
That's
shows
so
in general
sad.
are very dangerous. I really hope that, seeing that how something this massive could happen, I really hope that people do take that into consideration, later on,
Yeah.
and cancel air shows. This is a very risky business to be in.
Oh, absolutely.
So I just think
Like,
that
that's
it
heavy
all
machinery.
could have been avoided.
Yeah, I just feel like heavy machinery is never something to be toyed around with. Like cars, trucks, planes, boats, like that. Like, you just don't mess around with those. Like, they can hurt people. And then, them flying fast and flipping around and being upside down and doing all this stuff just to like have the show be cool and whatever is like, okay, cool, but like very dangerous. Especially if they're using the old aircrafts. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. I just
But
feel like we can have traditions honoring shit without it being dangerous. Like,
yeah. But thankfully, like I said, there was a lot of first responders, so I'm really hoping that, hopefully they did survive this. I hope that, I know that they are going to be seriously injured if they did survive this. But I'm just really hoping that, that nobody passed away. Um,
damn.
I'm really hoping that those families, all take care of them and whatnot. But that was just one thing I wanted to mention, was that something this unfortunately unfortunate, so excuse me, did happen. And it could happen literally anywhere. Like I said, I've only heard about these incidents like once or twice before, but that was like way back when. Um, I honestly think they haven't had an accident recently. Um, so I think this is like the first in like a long time here in Dallas.
Yeah.
But
Damn. That's
yeah, I hope They're supposed to give an update soon, later tonight, maybe in like 10 minutes. Um, I'm not too sure. But yeah, I just wanted to share that little bit of information, just kind of like go over that. Like I understand that this is tradition, you're trying to celebrate Veterans Day. Just be careful when you do, you know, air shows is a risky business. It's really risky. You don't know what will happen. You don't know when your last day is. And that's something that was mentioned to me by my aunt, was like she immediately was like, you never know when your last day is going to be. These guys probably
Yeah.
didn't know that today. They didn't know that they were going to literally live their last day if it's confirmed that they did pass away.
Yeah.
So that's just one thing I wanted to mention was, be careful out there if you're going to be celebrating stuff. Don't, please don't, use
I
old
mean, honestly,
equipment in the
like
future.
if you're just doing shit like at home or if you're out and you're celebrating or whatever, and it's just like, even if you think like, oh, I've done this a bajillion times, or like, oh, this isn't something that like
Yeah, you never
you
know.
you literally never know. So just like, be cautious and think about what you're doing and like really put some thought into it. Don't just be like, oh yeah, you know, like be careful because literally tomorrow is never guaranteed. Like the next hour is never guaranteed. So
Yeah, thankfully the CAF did cancel tomorrow being Sunday, November 13th. They did cancel tomorrow's air show as well. They were supposed to have a full weekend of air shows, and they did cancel the one for tomorrow.
would
Um
hope.
but I hope, thoughts and prayers, obviously, and I'm sending all of my good vibes to them, because if they did happen to lose these um crew members, then they lost um they lost some family members in their community. So thoughts and prayers to them. Please be careful. Like I said, please be careful. Please be careful with anything that you're celebrating. um and I hope that other events that consist of air shows, I hope that they are also very careful. Another thing I wanted to mention was I did an oopsie. uh I did an oopsie. So I forgot to upload last episode. So season 2 says season 2 episode 7, I forgot to upload it on YouTube and Spotify. So anybody who's listening to this episode, you will also receive that episode today. Along with this one. So you have double the fun this weekend. um but that'll be uploaded today along with this one. I promise I will do it tonight. I'm not gonna wait any longer. Um, and then the last thing I wanted to mention was this weather has got me fucked up. Um, it is okay. So mind you, well, I can't say recently because it's been like 3 months. But so what we did in this house was that we turned this garage into a room slash office, right? So I have this room slash office. Um, Honestly thought that they put insulation into this bitch, and apparently no. So it is freezing in this room. I will still sleep in this room because it is my room. And I honestly don't mind it because I honestly get really like hot when I'm sleeping. So I'm just like, whatever. But when I'm in here actually working and doing like my own stream stuff and like my own homework and whatnot, um, it's freezing. But
You gotta look for those like little heaters.
I
Those
do.
little
You're right.
electronic.
But let me fix this room first before I do that because I have a bunch of boxes. So when I moved into this room, there's no space in here to make a closet, right? So I have a bunch of like clothes that I don't use in boxes. Um, I don't know where to stick these boxes because we have no room in the attic. Seeing as how my mom likes to keep all of the Christmas stuff from like previous years up there and we don't actually use them this year, she's not gonna let me put this in the attic. So, um, what I'm going to need is a whole storage unit for myself. um, But I wanted to talk about how Texas weather got me fucked up because why were you going to be 80 degrees, high of 80 degrees, and then say, nah, let's put you in an ice water bath the next day? What the
The
fuck?
next.
What the fuck? Oh, you know what?
Mm.
I found out that Ohio, it's snowing now.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
They
up
literally
north,
were
it's
complaining. They were
snowing.
literally complaining.
Yeah. I have a friend that just had a road trip and he's up north and he was sending pictures and like shit's covered with snow.
Dude.
It's wild.
It's the fact that it's literally gonna head over to Texas and we're actually gonna have snow in December. I know for sure it's going
Oh,
to be in
Snow
December. There's no
never
way it's gonna be until like
sounds like a
February.
fucking lie.
I know. In
Right?
Houston, it snows like
It's like
every 10 years.
That's what I'm
it's
saying.
a lie, but then it's like we literally was it last year? Yeah, last
It,
year? Question mark. The snowstorm was that last year?
I
That
think it was
was
2 years
earlier this
ago.
year. That was like
No, it
January,
was
yes, it
No,
not.
was.
No,
January,
it was
February.
not.
not this year.
Wasn't
No,
it?
It was last
no.
year. I
Oh, it
thought.
was last year, January, February of
Yeah,
last year.
because in January it snowed, and then in February Texas broke,
Yeah, Texas
Yeah, you're
broke.
right. Yeah, you're right. I was still working
and
at
it was
the
fucking crazy. Because like
no,
we
yeah.
got a decent amount of snow, and it was like it was cool. We were chilling. We were like, oh yeah, and then February happened, and we were like, hey yo,
Yeah, you're right because I was working at the unnamed pizza place. Yeah. I remember. I
we're still
remember.
working there. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember because I remember I quit that bitch around that time.
You're like, man, it's cold as fuck. I'm out of this bitch.
Yeah, I remember I left that place around that time. So yeah, that's right. That's right. You are completely correct. Ignore me and my facts because they're not right.
Or if it rains, if it snows down here this year, I think Armageddon has started because, like, last time before, I guess, yeah, before the big freeze, I was like in middle school when it last really snowed. And it was like, when I mean really snowed, I mean like enough for like a small snowman, like 1 foot
Oh
high maybe
yeah.
at
'Cause
most.
we get like sleet and ice and like kind of could be maybe snow, but it's never there long enough.
Mm,
Like
Hmm.
it's definitely been at least a decade since it's like snowed.
Oh
yes.
yeah. So if it snows down here, I'm gonna believe that the Armageddon has started.
Oh, absolutely. 2 years in a row in Texas? Nah. It's the end of the world. It's the end of the world.
Yeah.
Gotta
Uh,
be. Gotta be.
No,
Not like
yeah.
Texas can handle it anyway, the cold.
Mm.
Bro, we literally like this shit.
Oh, it's like it's all coming back to me now. Like it's just the fact that it's all coming back to me. This is why I quit.
Fucking this is why I quit.
That's the start of my my two-page novel. It's like 2 pages of full of like why the fuck I quit from this place. Oh man. No, but I want yeah, the last time that we had like a big ass snowstorm was the one time that me and my family was able to make a snowman. And I remember this one time because my dad, his sense of humor is just out of here. Um we created the snowman, right? And unfortunately it had to be a two ball, right? Instead of a three ball.
Yeah.
So we got it ready. We got the little hat, the little carrot from the nose, everything. And then tell me why later that night I go outside to take the trash out and I look back. This snowman has a banana as a dick.
Oh my
Oh no.
I was like, wait a minute. I look
he
back and
fucking
I
would.
was like, I was like, man, I didn't put that there. I know my sister didn't put that there.
Oh
And I was
god.
like, you know what? I grabbed it, went back inside, and thankfully both my parents were in the living room, because if not, I was like, hey, why is this banana on the snowman? Who put it there? And my mom looked at me and was like, excuse me? And I was like, yeah, um, the banana was on the snowman. Why was it there? And she immediately like gave this piercing look at my dad, and he's over here dying, not like trying not to laugh. And I was like, man, I gave the banana to my dad. I was like, you know what? Just keep this for yourself, okay? Don't put it back on the man. Don't put it back on the snowman, because my sister's gonna wake up and see that. You crazy? The next
I
morning,
definitely see your dad doing that.
yeah, because that's my father. Um,
I
so
absolutely see that.
yeah, no, dude, I swear. I can see why y'all are like, oh, he looks a lot like George Lopez. Yeah, because he's fucking. His sense of humor is that way too. Um, but the next morning, you know how whenever the snow, it becomes like a stiff thing, like you literally can
Mhm.
like knock on it. It becomes
Mhm.
like ice, right? I didn't cover up the hole
Oh
the night
god.
before, so you could still see the hole. And my mom immediately like covered, because my sister was young, so my mom immediately covered her eyes. um and she told my dad to put snow on the hole so that way my sister wouldn't see that. He didn't. So it
Oh
just
my
started to
god.
melt that way.
Oh no.
But and then he got karma after, because he tried to throw a snowball at my mom. I think we still have the video of that. I think we do. So our yard is kind of weird. Our yard in the middle between my neighbors and our house, the yard dips like a little hill. Um so he got karma because as he was grabbing the snowball and like running back, he slipped. He slipped and
Oh
fell,
no.
and then he just laid there because he didn't want to. He was trying to play it off and like try to make a snow angel. Uh, but I think I still have that video. If I do, I'll bring it next time. But
Amazing recovery.
yeah, he played it off so perfectly because he started making a snow angel and then just wouldn't get up. Just no.
More like he couldn't get up.
Probably, probably. But yeah, I hope we get like a really big snowstorm. Obviously, I can't call off of work because I work from home, but it would be nice to see some snow again.
Honestly, yeah.
I would
If it's
want,
I'm going nowhere.
yeah, I
Fuck,
would want to see all that
I
white.
can't like not, I don't remember the last time these tires had anything done to them. Like I'm not going anywhere if it's even remotely that cold enough to
Oh
snow and
yeah,
it's
no, dude.
I'm not driving the car. I don't know when the fuck these tires were last even looked at. Like I don't
Hmm. One of the reasons why I quit that place. They literally tried
Oh
to get
yeah,
me to work.
I remember you having to drive home and like freaking out because it was like cold and snowy and shit. And I was like, why the fuck
Yeah.
are you like working today?
Dude, I shit you not, I slipped. Like the car slipped. And I was just like, nope, not going again. Like, you want me to drive 45 minutes each way. I have to get there. So I get there in 45 minutes. Depending on the traffic, I'll probably get there in like an hour. And then same thing coming back. Hell no.
Yeah, no,
And my car
fuck that.
slipped. Fuck that, bro. My car is
Fuck
not
that.
built that way, bro. My car is not built that way at all. Um, I have a used car. I don't have a new car. Okay, so I take care of the tires. Take care of the brakes. But during this time I couldn't take care of the tires because I didn't have the money for it. So I was just like, hey, like immediately, like when I got hired, I was like, hey, just letting you know, like, in case it does snow, in case it does, become icy on the roads, I'm not coming over. And he's like, yeah, I don't blame you for it. Like, this is the general manager of the store. He's like, yeah, I don't blame you for it. Like, I wouldn't either, honestly. And I'm like, okay, cool. So we're on the same page here. I'm not coming in if it's supposed to snow the next day, or if they say, hey, it's gonna snow tomorrow, not coming in. And he goes, yeah, okay, that's fine, whatever. I'm like, bet. So it happened, right? They started sending out the news and was like, hey, it's gonna be snowing this day, this day, this day. And I'm like, nope, not coming in. So I immediately was like, hey, just letting you know that I'm not coming in tomorrow, this day and this day, because it's supposed to be icy, snowy, whatever. And he goes, yeah, okay, no problem. And I'm like, great. The district manager calls me the same day that I was telling him this, because he went ahead and told the district manager that I wasn't going to be here. And he was like, hey, so you're not being a team player. Like, you can't predict the future. And I was like, well, they predicted that it's going to snow, so I'm not going to be here. So I'm predicting my own future by saying I'm not going to be here. And he was like, well, this is not like you're supposed to be one of the managers. This is not leadership. This is not blah. And I was like, it's like, sir, I was like, you're not the one driving in the snow and ice with a fucked up car. So, I mean, unless you're in the same shoes as I am, we're not gonna speak of this again. Um,
Fact.
so then I call the next morning. I'm like, hey, just call the general manager, and I'm like, hey, just letting you know I'm not coming in. Like, I see there's a bunch of ice out there. I literally right next to my car is a bunch of ice. I'm not trying to die, so. And then he was like, yeah, I don't blame you. um Literally all of the drivers have just called off on me too. And I was like, you're at the store right now? And he goes, yeah. And I'm like, you're crazy,
Bruh.
but good luck. And he goes, no, yeah, like the company and the district manager was like, hey, you need to keep the store open, it doesn't matter, blah blah blah. And we literally have no water. And I was like, hey yo. It's like, wait,
Yeah.
you're running the store with no water, so how the fuck are you making pizzas? He was like, I'm not making the dough, like we don't have water to be making dough. um and I'm like, okay, um are you going to keep it open all day, or are you going to close early? And he goes, no, we have to keep it open all day. I was like, oh.
It's so
That's
fucking
why.
weird, man.
The fact that like it wasn't like, oh, it's like more than likely gonna snow. No one's gonna be ordering shit anyways. Closed down, and if they try to order, oh well. Like, what kind of shit is that to still have to be open? Like,
And you know what the crazy part is?
I would have quit.
Oh yeah, I would have been like, yo. And here's the thing. When I worked at this store, mind you, I'm not mentioning the name due to reasons, uh legal reasons. I'm not trying to be in a lawsuit here, but um this store, the people that used to work there, they don't usually work with gloves.
Mm.
Um so the fact that you don't have water running, and if
Yeah,
you want to go to the restroom, they're not going to be able to wash their hands.
yeah, absolutely not.
So then I was like, man. And so then the general manager, he's very like on top of things when it comes to like health stuff. So he's the one who wears, gloves and stuff. So all of the managers, I've noticed that all of the managers would wear the gloves, but it's mainly like the the team members under management, right? So so then he was like, yeah, honestly, like I'm honestly gonna close this store early though, because I just don't feel comfortable being open with no water. Like it's not fair. And then he was telling me that another store had gotten a notification from the city, saying that they had to close their doors because there was no running water. So then I was like, so why didn't the city do that same thing with you guys? And he goes, well,
Right.
like the city, well, this city specifically hasn't said anything about the water. So I'm probably they're probably not notified of the fact that there's no water at the moment. So then I was like, okay, so like, what now? Like, now that you've mentioned this to me, you do realize that it might give me the idea of calling the city. He goes, no, I was already on the way to call them.
Oh.
He was like, I literally, as soon as I hang up on you, I'm gonna call them because I need to know if they know that the water is running or not.
Yeah.
So he ended up calling the city of I can't say the name. So then he was like, so he was like, he was telling me the conversation, and he goes, "Hey, do you guys know that there's no water running? Like, all of the pipes are frozen." And so the person who was talking was like, "Yeah, we know. Like, we were trying to get to see if we could get those fixed for like, trying to see if we can find a kind of come up with a solution to get those unfrozen." And they were like, okay, so I'm the general manager of the store, so we currently have our doors open. Do you need us to close our doors? Because technically we don't have anything to make anything for our food. And they were like, yeah, like, I mean, it would be the best thing right now is for you to close your doors, like, um, and whatnot. So then he called his district manager, and he was like, hey, so I talked to the city. The city was like, it's the best thing for right now is to close the doors. um like, what, like, can I just go ahead and close, because I honestly, like, I don't have anybody here. It's just myself and one other person, and that's it. And he was like, no, you got to keep the doors open, like, you've heard the CEO, we have to keep them open, blah blah blah. I'm like, dude, you're really worried more about making money and keeping doors. You're not gonna make money. Like, nobody's gonna be ordering shit. So then I was just like, bruh. And then tell me why, as soon as I get off the phone with this general manager, I get a call from the district manager. Oh, sorry, I call the district manager. I'm like, hey, just letting you know, because I told you it was gonna ice. I'm not coming in. He goes, oh, I literally just drove from God knows fucking where. I can't remember what he said. He was like, I literally just drove for like 2 hours, and it's fine. I was like, yeah, because you're not where I'm at, like, like in Dallas, Oak Cliff area. It's fucking icy. I'm not gonna get out of here. My neighborhood is covered in like ice and snow. I'm not gonna fucking get out of here. I'm just gonna stay put. I'm not risking my life. And he goes, oh, but like I said, like, the roads don't seem that bad. And I was like, bro, are you listening to the words that are coming out of my mouth? Come over to Dallas. Let me show you. Let me show you. Come over and then tell me how it's like. Cause I bet you, I was like, bro, I bet you if you come over to Dallas right now and you get into an accident, I bet you're gonna call me and be like, yeah, you were right. Fucking asshole. Anyways, um, yeah,
Just getting heated all over
I hope you
again.
get karmered. Karma.
Armored.
I hope you get karmered. Yeah, no, that's ridiculous. He was
I
still
can't
kind
wait
of
for us to
going
get
that hard.
stickers. I'm gonna use that.
Huh? What'd you say?
So when we get stickers, I'll make sure that's a sticker.
No.
Armored. Armored.
But yeah, I was just it was ridiculous. Oh, and you know what happened that year too? Do y'all remember the Fort Worth accident?
No.
No, it was during the snowy time. It was so bad because all of the cars were sliding into
That
each
big
other.
pileup, wasn't it?
It was a
Oh, I remember
huge
that.
pileup.
I do remember
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
It was a
Yeah, that's
huge
crazy.
pileup. Yeah, it was insane, dude. They would play it over on the news the day before I quit, or was it 2 days before that I quit. They were showing that in the news like over and over, and you could see this huge pileup, and like like, it was a huge area of the interstate. um and you can see that these cars were sliding into each other, and you can see that there was a lot of like ambulance around that area. They couldn't get to the cars in the front because
Yikes.
there was such a bad pileup that cars could literally not move the cars away from each other because you would see, like, it was so bad that you couldn't see in front of you, and once they hit somebody, that's it. Like, they couldn't get out of there.
Yeah, I remember that because there was like a couple other states that like all around the same time were having car pileups because people couldn't see and then were just driving like it wasn't snowing.
Yeah, dude, I was just like, man, that's ridiculous.
People just aren't careful anymore and it's dumb.
Yeah, I know in that pileup there was a lot of 18-wheelers too.
Oh yeah.
Could you imagine just, oh man, oh.
But I hate driving next to them now. If that shit was sliding at me, I'd cry.
Yeah, no, that would be me because I I get so anxious when I drive next to an 18-wheeler. Um
Same.
I just don't want to be anywhere near them. I'm at the point where I'm like, I don't want to be in front of one. I don't want to be behind one, and I don't want to be on either side of one. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull off and like let them drive. Um it's just such a scary experience, dude, because I literally had a panic attack when I was driving back home from work one day, and this 18-wheeler was coming into the freeway, and I was in the last lane. So I saw them and I was like, okay, like they see me. Like I know they see me because they were slowing down. So I was like, okay, I know they see me. So I'm just going to go, right? Not thinking about it. This dude sped up and started changing into my lane, and I was still in that lane. And so then as soon as he like I didn't have time to look behind me or next to me, I just fucking swerved. As soon as I swerved, I was like, fuck, I could have literally hit somebody just now. But when I looked back, the 18 didn't even slow down. He didn't even like react at the fact that he almost hit me. So I was just like, bro, and I like slowed down, fucking put my hand on the horn and just let that shit blare. I was like, I was just so infuriated. At that point, I had to pull off, and I had to like somehow calm myself down. And then I realized that I couldn't calm myself down. And I was like, this is a full on panic attack. I need to call somebody. Oh, what? Oh.
Sorry. Yo, Discord just like broke for me. Like all of a sudden I heard nothing and I was like, hello?
You scared me in there. I was like, don't tell me that the stream broke.
Yeah. Just my shit. Just my shit.
Yo. For anybody listening and is confused as to why I went so on our stream and our YouTube, you can see we have these little JPEG images. So every time we speak, we jump around, right? And if we leave the call, we disappear on the screen. She just disappeared. I didn't hear shit. That's where I was like, wait a minute. She straight up dipped. Just
My
kidding.
bad.
Scared the fuck out of me. I was like, man, not me having another technical issue happening.
It's like, fuck. Oh my god.
Son of a bitch.
Hey, we're chaotic. It's fine. It's fine. We're literally talking
No,
about the
like,
fact that we
also
didn't have
okay.
topics to talk about beforehand.
literally. We were like, are we still doing the same thing today? And all of us are like, yeah, right? Yeah,
Maybe.
okay. Okay.
It's fine. We'll
I
just
guess
wing
so.
it. Yeah.
It's fine.
Every episode we wing it. It's fine.
It is what it is. We
we're
get
not
through
we're
it.
not professionals. We're not perfect. It's fine.
Did you say perfectionals?
No, I said professionals, and then I said we're not
Oh,
perfect.
bro.
Are we adding that to the list of stickers?
Perfectional.
Absolutely.
We're perfectional.
Oh. But
I love making words.
I forgot where I was. I don't remember what I was talking about. Oh, the 18-wheeler. So yeah, I had to pull off the road, and I couldn't calm myself down. So I called my dad and was like, hey, like, help. That's all I could say was help.
Yes.
And he was like, he just kept talking. I wasn't really listening. I don't know what he said, honestly. Um, and then I just repeated help over and over. And he was like, I remember he said something about location. So I think he was checking my location anyway. Um, but yeah. Other than that, that's all I remember. And then I just drove home.
Oh, yeah. No, I would have freaked the fuck out.
Shit, I was fucking pissed though when he didn't like react to the fact that he almost hit me. I was like,
Oh yeah, no,
fuck
I
this
would have been
shit.
too.
And just like I was like, I hope this pierces your ear. Fucking man, dude, it's
Oh,
just it's crazy because they're just so huge. The 18 wheelers against your car, your car is so small against those things, man.
no, because like I was already like always anxious about like driving next to them or being near them or whatever. When I learned that sometimes their tires just pop,
Hey yo,
lost it. Lost it. Yeah, sometimes their tires can just
you're
and
joking.
nope, not at all.
Guess who's not driving anymore?
Like literally, if I see an 18-wheeler now, I either don't pass them until I can zoom past or I just like avoid them altogether. Like I refuse. Especially when I'm in the fast lane and all I have next to me is a concrete wall. Fuck that.
Yeah,
Mm.
no, I don't drive those next to that shit anymore because I feel like I'm gonna get squished. So no.
No, literally, that's why I always like if it's a concrete wall in them and I'm in the fast lane, I do not get next to them until I can like
Zoom.
gas it and
Yeah.
go. Like I'm not
Just fucking
speeding up next to you. Just that. Fuck that. And I hate when people match speed of trucks and then I get stuck behind them. I'm like, no!
dude. Oh, that just reminded me. So sorry. Continue your story. I'm going to tell my story afterwards. This bitch pissed me the fuck off. Go ahead.
I mean, I don't really have a story. You can
Okay.
go.
So I was driving home, right? And
Hmm.
this is me
Hmm.
driving home from work, and my mom goes to work as soon as I get home, right? So this was when I was working in a warehouse. So I was driving home and I was like, man, it's already 6 o'clock. Like I need to get there because she's supposed to be out of the house by 5:30. I was like, I need to get there. Like I don't have any to watch Junior. My dad's like half asleep. I need to get there, right? So I'm honestly, yes, I understand. I'm speeding. I'm trying to get home as fast as fucking can because um my if my dad's not watching the Junior, like he was small, so he was very like travieso, as we call it. He likes to touch everything, and so I was just like freaking the fuck out as like the mom sensing me, right? So I was trying to drive up, and so then this lady just like it looked like she was gonna speed up so I can get past, but she immediately retracted on that and was like, you know what, let me slow down on this bitch. She slowed down, right? She brake checked me and everything. Next to me was the trailer was coming up from behind, and so he moved to the lane next to me, and I was driving next to the wall, and so then I was just like, fuck, like I can't get out of here. So then I'm over here waiting for her to like move on so I can get in front of the trailer and fucking just go, right? No, this bitch traps me with a car behind me, the trailer on my left, and her on the front. And I'm just like, oh, I'm sorry, the trailer was on my right. But anyways, and her in front of me, and I'm like, bro. And so then I can see her like sticking up the middle finger. So I see her flicking me off. And I'm like, bro,
When I tell you
I
I would
got
have
you. I was like,
laid on
I
the
got you,
horn.
bitch. I was like, I got you. Okay, we got this. So immediately, as soon as I see an opening, because she drove a little bit further away from the trailer, as soon as I see an opening, I swerve into that lane. But I had enough space so that the trailer wouldn't like freak out. Um, but she swerved in front of me. So then I swerved back to the original lane. She swerved in front of me, and I was like, gotcha, bitch. Okay. So then what I do was I did the fake out where you go into the lane and then come back. So I did that shit, got in front of her, and then she realized that she fucked up. So what she did was she went all the way to the other end of the lanes, And there's a bunch of cars in front of us, so I can't get to her. Obviously, I'm not gonna try to either because I have a kid to get to at home. So then I was just like, you know what? And so then as soon as I look over, she can see me. I flip her off and go. But I was just in a rush to get home because this kid literally will touch anything. It doesn't matter if it's like hot or anything like that. He will literally touch it at the time. Obviously now he doesn't do that, but he would at the time. So I was freaking the fuck out, like trying to get home to take care of this kid and make sure that the house isn't on fire.
Yeah, no, my anger issues literally could never.
Dude,
When
if I
I
didn't have
tell
that
you,
situation going, I would have gone off on
I
her.
would have laid on the horn like there was no tomorrow. I would have the whole time. The whole
I bet the
time.
truck driver was just watching the entire thing, like,
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh yeah, this is the
Bro,
on-road
he
entertainment I
probably
signed up
slowed down.
for."
He probably slowed down and was like, I'm gonna just let them do what they do. But no, she's
Dude.
a bitch for that. I literally had someone like, yeah, guaranteed it was kind of the slow lane, whatever. I needed to get off on like the exit that was literally like 10 feet in front of me, kind of. And there was this like in the middle lane was a semi, and she was like next to the semi. And so I'm like zooming. I naturally speed all the time. It's
Oh yeah.
horrible, whatever. But I just do. So I'm not thinking
Never.
anything of it. I'm like, yeah, I'm going fast, but like I'm gonna get off on this exit, like it'll be fine, whatever. So I get up behind her and I slow down because she's going pretty slow, and I'm like, all right. But then I'm like, bro, I'm next to the semi, like move. She dead ass. I shit you not. And this is where my speeding and road rage becomes a little bit toxic. She did what that lady did to you. She hit her brakes.
Brake
When I
checked
tell
you?
you, yeah, she brake checked the fuck out of me. When I tell you, my foot never left the gas pedal. I
Wait.
literally gave no fucks. She brake checked me, and then I was even closer on her, and she sped up, and then she like flipped me off, and I literally, because I knew she would be watching in like the rear view mirror, I did the like go on like hand symbol. I was just like go on, and like on her ass the whole time, because like at first I was like, oh, I realize, I'm like kind of on your ass, but then like she slowed down next to the semi, and I was like, you're tripping. You're absolutely tripping. So I was on her ass, and
Oh, so we trying to die today.
she didn't have the balls to keep going. She sped up, and I got off and I left and I zoomed away. But I was like, you can brake check me all the fuck you want to. I don't care. And she obviously didn't want to actually get her car rear-ended, so
Which is
and it
crazy
sounds
because I know.
horrible. It sounds horrible. And like realistically, like if it was any other version of like whatever, it was simply the moment she decided she felt like slowing down just so I couldn't speed up and like zoom past and like do whatever the fuck. Like, I don't want to be next to this semi at all. Nor do I want to be behind your slow ass when I'm trying to go somewhere and my exit's right here. The minute she hit her brakes to try to brake check me, and the minute she flicked me off, I was like, oh, say less. Say less. I was like,
Man.
it is what it is.
I hate when people do that and you have to get to someplace urgently. And like, I mean, at that point, obviously, like if I hit this lady, I wouldn't care. I would have gone off on her anyway and would have been like, I have a kid at home. I have to get home. Like I literally have nobody watching him. So I need to get home. This is the reason why I hit your car. You brake checked me. Which you shouldn't have done. If you saw me speeding, maybe get out of the fucking way instead of fucking
No, literally,
pissing
like the
me
people
off.
that decide like they want to brake check or slow down or whatever, when you're obviously flying up behind them, like, what the fuck? Like, if there's room and I can zip, zoom, zag, whatever, then stay exactly where you are. But if you know that I can't get by without passing you, move. Just move. Like, literally move. It's not going to kill you to get over for a split second and then get back into the fast lane and just let me pass. Like, you will be fine.
You know what I hate? Is those people that try to zoom past you to get on or off the freeway or onto like a certain ramp or whatever, and like say like you're staying the same speed they are, so they miss it, and then all of a sudden they could have gone on there for in like 5 seconds, and then now they have to do a whole 5-10 minute U-turn to get to where they actually need to go, because that happened twice this month, I want to say. And both times the drivers were like really upset. I'm so glad JP has a Tesla because he can record them, and it's really funny to watch. Because once we get tacos in the morning. Usually when he works nights, we go get tacos. And there was this one driver. I don't know what they were trying to do or how we made them mad, but they like cut in front of us really fast to get off onto a ramp. And I'm looking at them. I was like, "What the fuck is your problem? Like, there's what? Well, first of all, where did you come from? Second of all, it's 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. What are you speeding for? There's nobody on the fucking road."
Yeah, take your
And then I'm
time, chill.
staring at them, and they're flicking us off from the ramp, and I'm like, "What the fuck is this? What did we do?"
They woke up on the wrong side of the
Yeah.
bed. 'Cause, oh
We did,
my
and nobody was
God.
on the fucking freeway, so it was just them and us, and he cut in front of us to go hurry up and get off the ramp. Like, if he would have slowed down for like a second, he would have been perfectly fine getting on that ramp.
Bruh.
There was no
That's
traffic.
fucking
It
hilarious.
was fucking calm. We were just laughing at something, and then this random ass motherfucker just having the worst day of his life, apparently.
Apparently, that early in the morning, just losing it.
Ridiculous, dude.
That's fucking
Nah,
hilarious.
if it was that early in the morning and there's nobody on like the freeway or on the road in front of me or anything like that, I would be chilling. I would actually drive a speed limit because I love driving and listening to music. I would be chilling.
I mean, I'd be chilling, but I'd probably still be speeding.
Yeah,
Just
not
not as
me.
much. Just not as much. Like about
Texas,
10
if you're
miles
not,
off.
it's Texas. If you're not going 20 miles per hour above the speed limit, are you really from Texas?
Exactly.
Exactly. There is no Texan going speed limit. Get the fuck. If you see anybody going
Absolutely
speed
not.
limit, they're not from here.
Literally,
On a
the flow
regular
of
day,
traffic.
at a regular time, obviously.
Yeah.
The flow of traffic is always faster than the actual speed limit. You'll get pulled over for going the speed limit because you're going slower than everybody else.
Yeah,
Literally.
true. Could you
Cops like,
imagine?
bro.
Could you
You get pulled
imagine?
over like
Look at
bro,
this goody two shoes over here.
you get pulled over and the cops like, homie, move.
Do you know why I pulled you
Bro,
over today?
I would lose
I need you
my
to
mind the
move,
day
bro.
I get pulled over for not speeding.
Oh my
It's like,
god.
are you aware that you were going speed limit? It's like, what?
Yeah, isn't that part of the rule? No, you're in Texas,
Yeah,
motherfucker. Like, step on the
I was aware.
gas.
I was doing that on purpose. That shit is a suggestion.
Yeah.
That is the minimum.
Yo, the minimum.
Is
The minimum.
what I love though
That
is
would be
that
funny
like
as shit.
there's people that will see a cop on the freeway and they're going like obviously like we said 20 miles above the speed limit, and then you see them hit the brakes really fast and
Yes.
everybody else
Oh
is
yeah.
just feeling.
Bro,
Not gonna
there was
lie.
a video on TikTok.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, there's a video on TikTok this lady posted. I guess like her apartment or whatever has like a view of the highway. So she like posted a video of there's like a trooper or whatever just like chilling on the side, and you just see everybody in the fast lane, brake lights, brake lights, brake lights. And I was like, ooh.
Yo.
And then like right at the end of the video, it was fucking hilarious. Right at the end of the video, like everybody, like even a couple people in the slow lane and a few people in the middle is like brake lights, whatever. You just see this one dude just book it. Like he doesn't even care. He just
Dude.
goes. And this like the trooper doesn't even move or whatever. It was just really funny. But it's like everybody's braking, and he's just like, fuck it. Like, oh.
Dude, that's
All
literally
right.
what I was about to say was that I did that I just zoomed past. I didn't see this cop at all. And I was actually driving with my dad and I was just going like 90 miles an hour. And I didn't see him, so I was just like, whatever. And then my dad goes, "Oh shit, that was a cop." And I was like, "What?" And he goes, "It's fine. He can't catch up. Just go." Because he knows that I speed, right? So then he's like, "It's fine. He won't catch up. Just go. Just go." I was like, "Dad."
It was really funny. Somebody in the comments of the video was like, they were like, "It's so funny to see people hitting their brakes." And they were like, someone responded and they were like, "Yeah, it's just known, like, don't hit your brakes. It's more implicating to hit your brakes than not." And somebody replied and they were like, "That's not how that works." They were like, "Just keep going." And it's like, no. Do not keep going.
Yo. Oh man. No, it was just funny the fact that he goes, "It's fine. He's not gonna catch up." Because I didn't see the cop move at all. He just like I saw him with the little like I saw him in the rear view mirror with the little gun. I couldn't say that shit for my life, bro. God.
Mirror.
Too many
You
R's.
Mirror.
Too many R's. Rear view mirror.
Shut up. Leave me alone. I always get called out on this. Leave my R's alone, bro. Anyways, I saw him on the rear. Okay? With the little gun. But he didn't move. That's But as soon as I saw that he didn't move, I was just like, okay. My dad was just like, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, there's definitely been times that I'm like staring behind me because I'm like, did they move? Did they move? Did they move? Or like anytime I pass a cop speeding and they're going the opposite direction, I'm like, did they hit a U-turn? Was that a U-turn? Are they coming? Like you would think with the amount of time I spend looking over my shoulder to make sure they're not behind me that I would just slow down. No. No. I just make sure that they're still not behind me.
Oh man. But yet
But
they
I've
pull you
also
over for the
developed,
stupidest shit ever. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
really bad. Like I've started scanning. Instead of slowing down and being a model citizen, I've started scanning for cops. I'm like, I'll speed and just
Yo.
make sure if I see them, I'll slow down. It's really funny because for me, I live down the street from the police department. So
Oh,
like they're everywhere.
Oh, me too.
They're fucking everywhere.
Same. Yeah, they're right here, and I'm just like, well,
Nobody likes to
well.
be in my neighborhood because they will watch you like a hawk and they will pull you over for almost everything, including speeding, even if it's like 5 miles above the limit.
It's the dumbest shit ever.
It is. Nobody likes to come to my neighborhood. I can't have parties over there.
Yeah, that's why I hated going to that unnamed pizza place was because the cops in that area, man, they literally pulled me over for going what was it 2 over the speed limit. I was
Oh
like,
hell
bro,
no!
come
Oh,
on.
yeah.
I was like,
What a
this is
waste
the worst
of
place to
fucking
be in
time for
anyway.
both of you.
Yeah, I was like, come on, dude. And I was like, man, I was like, okay, obviously you're going to say as a, if you're speeding and you know that you're speeding. I wasn't speeding because I know I was like, it was below 5. That's gotta be like fine, right? So
Yeah.
he was like, yeah, you went over the speed limit. I was like, 42? 42 is over the speed. Okay. And I was like, okay, but like that's under 45. That's not as bad as like a regular speedster would be, right? So
Yeah.
he gave me the dumbest shit. He gave me the longest ticket I have ever seen in my entire life. The ticket, I could literally be staring at it and it'll still fall to the fucking ground.
That's wild.
It was the longest roll of paper for just
This man
for
really
just a
just had
little bit
nothing
of
better to do.
bro. I was like,
I feel like he definitely had nothing better to do and was trying to like meet his quota and
oh,
was like,
I
"Who
know
got
he
him?"
did. Yeah, and
Got him.
I walked into the store with that paper in my hand, right? and my boss, who was supposed to be my general manager for the new store that they were building closer to my place, um he was like, so what, like, why are you late? And I was like, oh, you want to open this real quick? And then just like I see him like grab it, and he was like, what is this? And so then he opened it, and he looked like up and down. He's shorter than me, so it like still like curled at the end. He looked dude, he was like, what the actual hell is this? And I looked at him dead in his eye, and I was like, it's a ticket. And he goes, what? And I was like, I was going 42 on a 40, and this is my ticket. He goes, you're kidding. I was like, yeah, would you like to take care of it for me? Or, because I don't want to take that back into my car. I was like, I got to roll that shit back up. I don't want to. And he was like, are you going to take, I was like, man, yeah, I got to take care of it. So then he goes, do you need to like go and take it? I was like, no, I'll just do it over the phone. So yeah, I called and was like, so what the fuck am I supposed to do with this roll of paper? And the dude was like, oh yeah, you could just throw that away. Great. Thanks.
Honestly,
It wasn't a
I feel
ticket,
like
it was a receipt.
Shit was insane. I
feel
wish I
like
took a
it would've
picture of
been-
it too. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. I feel like it would have been really funny if you had like gone in to like pay it or whatever, and like the judge or whatever looked at it and was like, "What the fuck
Yeah.
is this?" It's like a scroll.
Yeah. Dude.
You have been summoned.
You have been summoned.
The roll.
funny.
You opened it. Just DBD reference.
That's wild, though. I've never heard of anybody getting like a fucking scroll of a ticket. That's wild.
I should have taken a picture of it. I really should have, but oh well.
That would have been.
I really wanted, dude. Oh man, I wish I could go back in time because I would have wanted to take a picture of my boss with it. Just him holding it over his head.
Just tiny, and it's still like bottom.
I hope you don't
That's
ever
wild.
see this episode ever, dude. If you know who I'm talking about, I hope you don't. We are over our time, ladies, by a lot.
I
Look at the time.
About that. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, we have gone over our time a little bit. We were just having fun, reminiscing, and all that good stuff. But with that, we are going to be ending the episode here. Thank you for letting us, be a part of your day and / your night, whatever you want to call it. We appreciate each and every one of you, as we always say. You guys are really the reason that we get to do this, and why we're here. So thank you guys very, very much, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Puffs out.